Hey everyone, back for another video. So I actually decided that I was going to do a video on Saratoga Lager, which is a Märzen. Märzen is the traditional Oktoberfest style beer. It's usually characterized by noble hops, but a very low hop aroma, I guess, and with prominence of Vienna malt. With a little bit of Munich malt usually in there to kind of give it some flavor. But let me just pop this open and we'll do a review. I'll do a video discussing the history of the Märzen and Oktoberfest in general. But for now, I've got Saratoga Lager. Let me show this to you. This is a 6% alcohol by volume lager. This is actually from just a few towns over. Saratoga Lager is owned by Mendocino, which I believe is a Californian company. But they've been a pretty decent brewery for quite a while. I believe their Märzen took #1 in one of the county fairs. I think it was either Washington or Saratoga County. I'm not positive. This is New York, by the way. There's another Saratoga somewhere else. No, this is Saratoga Springs, New York. So let me just give this a pour, see how the head goes. The head is pretty nice. It's a solid finger of head. It's staying there. It's not really going away. Nice. This is a little bit bigger of a head than the Helles that we did a while ago. Yeah. In terms of color, it's a little bit cloudy. It's not. I couldn't read a book through this necessarily, but I could definitely make out shapes from across the room if I'm looking through it. It's a very amber color. I wish I could kind of get this to you, but I kind of can't. In the camera it looks brown, but when I've got a light source behind it, it's a nice solid orange amber. It almost looks like somebody took a pumpkin and roasted it a little bit and left it at that color orange. It's absolutely stunning in terms of color. Let me just check the aroma first. That is very bready, almost a little bit caramel-like. Not quite as aromatic, or as malt-forward aromatic rather, as a couple other Märzens that I've had, but it's quite nice. Yeah, very very bready. How do I describe that accurately? It's almost like somebody had a loaf of bread and took a little bit of honey and put that kind of somewhere in there. No, you know what it smells like? It smells like one of those, you know the consistency of banana bread? How it has that slightly denser consistency, and it's got that aroma to it that if you took the banana out of banana bread, that's almost what it tastes, or what it smells like. Just this really thick, delicious, slightly sweet-smelling, moist bread. But very little hop aroma at all. So in terms of the malt head, like myself, this smells like it would be a wonderful beer. Now we haven't gotten to the taste yet. This could be way over attenuated and be dry as all hell. I have a feeling that's not how it's going to be, but oh, it smells delicious. It tastes like it smells. Yeah, it's like you had that moist, fresh sort of bread, dried it up just a little bit, and then ate it. It's wonderful. It's just like it's not quite as dark and bready as something like a Doppelbock, which we'll be doing in the future. But it's still wonderful. If you like malt forward beers, this is the beer to go to. You can definitely taste a little bit of the hops, but again, they're the noble hops. This isn't IPA hoppy. This is we have a really sweet malt backbone, and we need something to kind of hide that a little bit, so it's not disgustingly sweet. I've had a few unhopped malt heavy beers, and I will tell you they're some of the most disgusting things in the world. And I say that not liking hops very much and loving malt. If you do not hop a malt heavy beer, it just becomes disgustingly sweet. Yeah, it's almost like trying to drink Malta, which is, I mean, Malta is a nice soda, but it's not a really good drink. So it doesn't really convert into the beer world. Because I mean, I'd rather sit down and drink a pint of Malta than sit down and drink a pint of unhopped beer. It's not very nice. But this has just enough hops where it balances it, plus a little bit. So this is another one of those really nice beers where if you wanna get somebody who's had who drinks Budweiser or who drinks maybe Yingling. Actually, I don't know if all of you have seen Yingling. I don't know how far Yingling's distribution is. Since I'm in New York, I'm a little bit close to them. So I remember when they got distribution rights to New York, or not distribution rights, when they started distributing to New York. So I would imagine that most of you on the West Coast or in Europe have never seen it. But yeah, this is a wonderful beer. I could sit down and I could drink this all day. Hands down. In fact, I have before. This is a pretty good go-to. This is the only Märzen that's done in the area pretty much year-round. And when I'm looking for an Oktoberfest, this is my go-to. Come August through September, when Oktoberfest is actually really big, I won't drink Saratoga Lager, but that's only because Saratoga Lager is done year-round. There's a number of Märzens that I hands down prefer. In fact, there's a distribution center around here where I actually get some Märzen directly from Germany. And there's a few people I know in the beer world who I'll talk to and I'll say, hey, you're going to Germany? Bring me back this. I'll give you some money. And I get some nice stuff. But this is still a solid go-to for a year-round Märzen. Geez, I don't know what else to say about this. You know what? Just for fun, I'm going to pour this into one of my steins. Because I feel like an Oktoberfest should go into a stein. So, cheers. I've actually got a few different steins. This is one of my steins. This one back here was made from somebody in my family. My grandfather's brother, so my great uncle, I guess, made this. Let me grab a couple other steins. I'll just show you my steins. Why not? These two steins were given to me by my grandmother. They're both from Germany, and they both predate World War II. They both have a history in the family. I believe they've been in the family since approximately, before World War I, actually, because they belong to my great-great-grandfather. And he was in World War I. On the wrong side of history, but was in World War I nonetheless. And then this other stein, which I drink out of every now and again. This one my grandmother picked up on her first trip back to Germany, her first and only trip back to Germany. And this is stein made in West Germany, which is neat because it says made in West Germany on the bottom. So Anybody wondering what the history of this is 100 years from now will know that it only existed or that it was made within a very specific time period. So my other steins, I don't really have a way of confirming their production date. I do know from my family history that my grandmother brought these over on the boat with her. These are 2 of 4 objects that my grandmother brought from Germany to here, which are still in the family. So I know that they came over just after World War II, and I also know that the stamp on the bottom states that they're from Germany, which means that they predate the terminology of West Germany, which means they likely were made before World War II, and because of the history which I've spoken to my grandmother about, I'm fairly certain that I can date these either during or pre-World War I. This one's a lot more modern. It's a lot nicer. Well, it's a lot nicer in appearance, but it's very clearly an industrially made stein. So while I would be absolutely miserable if I broke this, I'm comfortable drinking out of it, because if this breaks, it's not a piece of history gone. If those break, if these 2 other steins that I showed you break, I mean, it would be priceless. There's very few objects that I still own, or that my family rather owns, that come from Germany, that were given to our family from our German ancestors. Those are 2 of 4. So I would be miserable if either one of them broke completely. So I don't drink out of them. I just showed these to you guys. That's the first time I've taken them down in a while, and it's probably the last time I'll take them down for a very long time. I'll never put anything in them to drink out of, and those will probably go to my children. But this one, I'm fine drinking out of, especially a Märzen, because it's thematically appropriate, I guess. There's nothing like drinking out of a stein. It's not the best thing in terms of aroma or flavor profile. A pint is a little more appropriate. For that, it's got a wider nose. You can get more of the aroma. And then if I wasn't going to drink out of a pint, probably a snifter, because it goes up and around the beer, and then it has that little capturing lip, so that you can stick your nose in that and look like a wine or beer snob, but it'll actually capture a decent amount of aroma. But yeah, Saratoga Lager, wonderful beer. I'll be finishing this one gladly. Thank you guys for watching. Since I did the Märzen and the Helles, I'll be going next to the Bach and Doppelbock, probably. That'll be neat for seeing kind of where these styles came from. These 2 that I've just done. And then after that, I have a Hefeweizen, and I have an Irish Dry Stout, but I think I'm going to find something else to keep it more thematically appropriate, so that I can go through a few German styles first, and then go into the Irish Stouts, the English Strong Ales, things like that. I'm much more familiar with German beer, so I'll try to keep it with that. But thank you very much for watching, guys. I very much appreciate it. Tune in for the next few videos. Thanks. Bye.